our reality. So I am so happy to be here with Poor Press and Poverty Scholars and to be a part of the announcement of this brand new piece of literature. Today, you're going to hear from some poverty scholars. You're going to hear from some reliable narrators, some storytellers. You're going to hear reality speak truth to power. I am privileged to be able to start this dialogue. And so I thought it was appropriate today if I brought you a piece called Dark Art, because we all know that art is powerful. The word is powerful. It is said in most languages that some sentence, some phrase, some word start a reality. I like to say that light cut dark on command. Here we are. So, not to get it twisted, this is a ritual. This is an invoking of power. This is a group of people gathered together to do what Amiri Baraka told me was one of the most revolutionary things you could do. Publish, publish, publish. So again, here's my testament to the power of art. It is called Dark Art. Here we go. My dark art grazed you, 'cause truth stuns like Max on drums, ancient, sacred, primal. Dark art mesmerized you. You slipped in and baptized you. You approached, invited me to sight, sing, tap, entertain you. Collecting my shroud of shadows, gathering thunder, trailing, wailing women, and prayers of unborn children. I slide the eagles back into the book, smiling the way you like. Walked away, bleeding, dark art, bloody footsteps, stale air, last breaths, centuries of trauma, so wet from the ocean, stopping to pour out gin for Ogun. Me and the eagles smile, not like you like. Breathing deep in dark hearts where sun shines sublimely, refined, refracted, reflected, the inside of pure darkness, beyond dark, draped in black, three-eyed warrior, drum-hearted, fire burning, no more ignited, verbal vampire invited. I assumed you knew. She traveled well, armed with dark art, spit smells, weaving existence, waves out the no way. I'm gonna need the sopranos to sing here, high, like corpses hung in southern trees, twisting in purple southern breezes. Come on, sopranos, sing high. This is the story drugged by horses through the north, informing the curse, now invoked, dipped in indigo, coffee, sugar, wrapped in cotton, invisible, but you see, I see, so you invited. We accept. Me and the eagles, free. No quarter given, none asked, no prisoners promised, no surrender, no retreat, blocked exits for several lifetimes, syndicated, rerunning on BET. There is no escape. I'm gonna need you to hold your breath and listen for them footsteps, syncopated like drums, slaves walking on the bottom of the ocean. dark art, tongue like sword, freed by armies of bones, walking on water, swelling with recruits, rising from graveyards, pregnant with unresolved history, projectiles jaggedly inventive, inverse, conjuring murky magic, deliciously dangerous, perniciously persistent, hard to kill, dying to live. We are here to entertain you. Double-sided axis, tilt your world. We on a different axis. So listen closely to access this. Now I need them horns to play. The drum never stopped. That's the circle unbroken, beating hearts, walking, waiting, invoking. The dead are here. The homie fire, Zulu spears, protection shields. Not a damn thing to lose. Drown you in your bluest blue. Them drums never stop beating. The bass begins. She sings, no tapping, lest Xavier come over. Baraka is gone, fingers move in memory, but no tapping. She sang it, but got to go through the back door to save your sorry soul. Dog art, breaking your fragile heart, bending the notion of me, nappy, uncharted jazz, fall into my ocean, swim in it, jump Jim Crow fits in it, fill jail cells with it, live in fear of it, choking on greedily ingested, appropriated, what you tried to eat it, correct it, erase it, mass assimilated. Come to the picnic, cut up the body, take a small piece home, inject it into your ass, lips, tits. I have come to help you digest your dreams of me. Captured, consumed, uncured, still wild. Monk, Miles, Marvin X, 1,000 galaxies ahead beyond. Sun Ra murdered the fucking pale, and I have come to bury it. Crossing over broken lines in Alabama, dark roads in Mississippi, sunrises over Georgia, homeless encampments outside Disneyland. Itinerant refugee, landless, razor smooth, few possessions. Insert your confessions here on the altar of my dark heart. Naked on stage, blinded by searchlights, see they mostly come at night. Keep that shotgun under the bed, you can meet God tonight, and you best pray it's your God, because my God don't play. There may be no overcoming. Hold your breath. We are here, wet from the water, still purple, swinging crosses on necks, seeing gods in the mirror, resisting existential crucifixion, tracks of bitter tears, smelling of dry blood, sweat from climbing, heavy, rank ass pain, too stubborn to die, broke, raggedy, hope strangling. Hold your breath. Fly, 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 my granny said. So there's too many holes in the ground, grow wings, baby. She cried, she cried, she cried. Can my pain change you? See, right there, they drank the tears. The ocean left shimmering bones dancing on dry land. No tapping, invincible drums beat. This is dark art, dark hearts beating. She cried, she cried, she cried. The horns stopped, hex dropped, not a damn eye dry. Feed my ocean. This is dark art, strung on trees, underwater on dry ground, bones dancing, sharpening machetes. Hold your breath. We are in the desert now. Just eagles, lions, and apes walking with me. Grannies weeping over dead children, kept in urns, too poor for the cemetery. We are all here. Are you here? Another one shot down. Can't eat your guilt. We were born hungry. We got dreams deferred. We looking for justice. We feel like Fela Kuti, dancers, bones and feathers, eagles, machetes, razors, nothing to lose. We are here. Are you here? Something should be burning. Are you praying? Pray to my dark heart. Pray that poems never end. Because if they do, what then? Ashe.
Hey.
So welcome, welcome, welcome to Poor Press and the birth of brand new words and the continuation of the spirit that's needed to nurture evolution, revolution, and the change we so desperately need. Without any further ado, I'm going to turn this over to the real host of this event, my friend, Lisa Tiny Gray, and she's going to bring you into this space, tell you about these wonderful authors and about this brand new publication. Thank you.
Whee! I don't know if we can even begin to follow the prayer words, the fierce magic, the palabra of Sister Ayodele WordSlanger, but it is our humble gratitude and love and appreciation that you kicked off today. Today, we as poverty scholars, we say, we are your clients. We are all those nonprofited dollars. See that houseless mom and daughter sleeping in a tent? That's because we don't got money for the rent. Yeah, I'm a poverty scholar. I rock my jailhouse attire because me and my po mama did jail time for the poverty crime of being houseless in this occupied indigenous holler. And yeah, I'm all those people you don't want to be, never want to see. Look away from me. What you gonna do, arrest me? We're in your city. So I'm uninvisibilizing all those people that you perpetrate the violent act of looking away from. And I'm right back in your face. And that is the medicine, the magic, and the liberation of Poor Press as we resist what I call linguistic domination. So to start us in a good way, and all of the ways that our publications and our land liberation happens, we want to make sure that we begin with prayer. Sister Karina Gould, who is a powerful warrior, helped co-found Hopefulness, a homeless people solution, homelessness, Segurite Land Trust, and all her ancestors' prayers. It's going to start us with a prayer, and then we're going to hear from the books that are with us today. And I want to shout out to all the people who are here today. Thank you. Thank you for spending some time on this beautiful Sunday in this prayer magic, and then this palabra, and then this word. Karina, are you there?
Thank you so much, Tiny. Thank you, relatives. Thank you, Ayodele, for that beautiful starting off with us. It's amazing what words can do and how it brings us together in different kinds of ways. And so I just want to offer a prayer for all of our ancestors from all four directions to come in and be with us and to help us to spread this words of good magic and good listening to one another. A way for us is to come together in one mind and one space, one for us to learn from each other. A special prayer for all of those that are sick and cannot be with us today, for their relatives that are holding them and holding their space, for our relatives that are living without a roof over their head, for our relatives that are standing for injustices all over the world. We say special prayers for our relatives, the clouds, to continue to bring fresh water for us for the next 7 generations and beyond. We pray for our elders that are passing over and the new ones that are coming into this world, and that we continue to work together as human beings to create a better path and a better world for all of them. Oh.
Sure. Thank you, beautiful. And so also I just wanted to, before we start, there's many poverty scholars with us today and Poor Press authors in this room, which is the sacred land us houseless people call Hopefulness, is Brother Dee Allen, a badass poet, youth poverty scholar, Amir, a writer, and part of Decolonized Academy and Poor Magazine. Sister Auntie Frances, Black Panther, Liberator, and Self-Help Hunger Program founder and also co-founder of Hopefulness, and my brother Mutiado. And so we're gonna start today's book sharing off with the Hopefulness Handbook. But first, we're just gonna talk about, who is Poor Magazine? We're poets, we're cultural workers.
Yeah, and again, thank you, Auntie Karina, Ayodele, and all the folks who are taking time to be with us. For the new folks who don't know, Poor Magazine is a poor people-led, multi-generational, multi-ethnicity, poverty scholars, coming out of struggle, still in struggle. We are the ones on the tents and the sidewalks. And again, we're mamas, aunties, uncles, abuelitas y abuelitos. We are the poverty scholars of Poor Magazine, Prensa Pobre.
Oh.
What is Poe Press? Poe Press is the publishing arm of Poe Magazine that was launched in 1998 by Mama Dee Garcia. And her daughter Tiny, and is dedicated to publishing the writings of Poe, houseless, disabled, and incarcerated poverty scholars.
So the framework of Poor Press and all of our change work is the original theory of poverty scholarship. What is poverty scholarship? This is an excerpt from the poverty scholarship textbook. Poor people-led theory, art, words, and tears across Mama Earth. The notion of poverty scholarship was born in the calles, prisons, street corners, community centers, welfare offices, shelters, kitchen tables, assembly lines, tenements, projects, and ghettos. All the places people don't look for educators, experts, leaders, researchers, lecturers, linguistics, artists, creative thinkers, writers, and media producers.
Poverty scholars are told our knowledge is not valid or legitimate. Our speech is improper, our work and our choices criminal, and our words inept.
We are usually the ones that are silenced, incarcerated, criminalized, displaced, evicted, or just extinguished by the shame of poverty, by the shame, capitalist shame, placed on all of us who deal with struggles of eviction, of homelessness, of disability, of poverty, the dominant narrative of what knowledge even is, and what we do as poor people to take care of each other and resist the savior industrial complex. Basically, exactly what we're doing right here at Hopefulness.
The first Poe Press book we will feature today is the Hopefulness Handbook, which is written, lived, and dreamed by all of us poverty scholars, and many more not here tonight, and many more who have made their journey to the ancestral plane. Ibaye, Laurie McElroy, Mama D, and Kathy Galvez. Rest in peace to them all.
Oh, Dale.
This is Auntie Frances, poverty scholar, Black Panther and co-author, and the following words are from the introduction of Hopefulness Handbook, From Land Back to Black Land, from the lie of discovery to the settler colonial lie of private property, from the Black Panthers to Move Africa, Zapatistas to Sagara Tayland Trust, to Hopefulness Land Trust, and what? How do poor, houseless, indigenous, evicted, disabled, false border, terrorized people from all four corners of Mama Earth, now residing on stolen and occupied Turtle Island, who have been displaced, evicted, incarcerated, swept, criminalized, and traumatized, actually buy land and build permanent homes, food justice, art and healing community for ourselves and the world.
The question almost seems unanswerable. This vision seems almost unrealizable in the capitalist system, whose entire criminal justice system is set up to protect the settler-led private property. But this lie must be unpacked. These myths and messages of hoarding, accumulating, buying, selling, evicting, incarcerating, sweeping, and stealing must be untold and unlearned.
Mama Earth is not now and has never been for sale. And our indigenous ancestors have always taught us that we must learn, write, and live it back. We will be reading an excerpt of my story from the Hopefulness Handbook, which I wrote. Hopefulness is a community launched by Dee and Tiny Gray-Garcia. Hopefulness is a safe place for people of color that could join us in the movement to free Mama Earth, along with all of our uncles, aunties, grandmas, and grandpas. I study at Deaconess Academy, a school on the land at Hopefulness in East Oakland. Hopefulness is a place that helps homeless people on the streets. We give out food to see their smiles. We also have our own radio station led by youth scholar and adult scholars. Hopefulness is not just a place, it's much more than a place. It's like a heaven. We save lives during this pandemic. We always help our community and never stop. Hopefulness is a place where you can feel safe. The Congress Academy is a different from the other schools. It is led by our community from the streets. They are also teaching the youth, the young ones, how to take care of the elders in our community. Hopefulness teaches so many things that are different from the regular school. Hopefulness is a special space for all of us in this community fights the cruel injustice in our people. We are not a fake organization. We are the real deal. And we are always showing up and supporting each other and anyone who needs our help.
The Hopefulness Handbook is the journey and the how-to of the powerful poverty scholars and ancestors of Po magazine to spiritually and legally unsell Mama Earth and building the vision that is homefulness, an answer to the deadly violence called sweeps.
Yeah, and also Hopefulness Handbook, which is a prayer in and of itself, is also dedicated to the spirit of Shannon Marie Bigley, Ibaye, Desiree Quintero, Luis Temaj, Luis Dimitro Gongora Pat. Shannon Marie Bigley killed on the side of the 80 freeway by a DPW truck running over her cardboard motel. Desiree Quintero killed from a sweep out of the Ross parking lot in so-called Santa Cruz, AKA occupied, stolen Ohlone land. Our beautiful Luis Temaj burned alive for sleeping outside in a sleeping bag in occupied Yalamu, that's Frisco, and Luis Dimitro Gongora Pat, who we walk with every day, killed by a police call of a gentrifier trying to help him when all he was trying to do was live without a roof. We dedicate this book to all of the unknown soldiers of the violent capitalist lie called sweeps and the deeper lie called private property.
100% of all proceeds of our Hopefulness Handbook go to build hopefulness. We will come out to any and all encampments, street corners, schools, universities, and communities to share this work with fellow poverty scholars and conscious wealth voters ready to live, walk a different way in this time of so much Mama Earth pains.
So give it a big, big, big love for all of the poverty scholars who are continue to fight for this as the city of Oakland tries to block us at every turn. Because like a lot of our elders say, oh yeah, funny, they ain't trying to let you build a self-determination. Because what I always say is there ain't no J-O-B in self-determination. So we're going to be turning it over to the other powerful warriors here. There are so many beautiful books that have been released in this collection of 2022 and 2021. And we're going to be hearing and seeing their beautiful faces and hearing from their books. I want to shout out to Stevie and Lisa and other warriors calling in from occupied Squaxin territory, Lummi and Nooksack territories. We know that this vision of poverty scholarship and hopefulness is way larger than just the occupied Bay. And so we want to shout out to y'all for being here. But without further ado, let's bring in a beautiful sister warrior, Mama of Amir, and a poverty scholar, formerly houseless sister warrior, Mama Audrey Candy Corn, with your beautiful book, Oakland to Iraq.
Greetings, family. I don't know if you guys could still see me or not, but I'm Audrey Candy Corn. I'm gonna talk a little louder. We have approximately 5 minutes. The time is 1:32. My name is Audrey Candy Corn, and I'm a grieving yet breathing mother. I lost my son, Torian Dejour Hughes, at the tender age of 17, 5 days before Christmas. And this was 6 years ago. And so with the help of healing in non-traditional ways, such as theater, art, poetry, writing, singing, dancing, and sometimes just flat out getting a good ass scream out can be harmonious and good for the soul. And through me networking and collaborating with Hopefulness and other people in the community, like our dear sweet sister Ayodele, I've been able to present the book Oakland, Iraq, which is a dedication to my deceased son, who was basically died being his brother's keeper. He gave his life. He was being robbed, and someone else was being robbed, and he decided to help and assist by trying to prevent that from going down. And in the process, he lost his life. And so with that being said, the works of being your brother and your sister keeper is something that not is just inside of my household, but it is something that we live by. And with our neighbors, we create community, and through the community, we create village. So through that, we've been able to take our hard work, sweat, and tears and create something phenomenal. The book Oakland, Iraq basically tells a true story about a family, a Black family, Oakland natives, who are entrepreneurs, who are not on welfare, no type of aid. They are fighting the system to sustain in non-traditional ways while living on the land and trying to sell their books and trying to create awareness with their anti-bullying campaign, along with their clothing line and some of the other things that they have learned to micromanage to sustain. So the book basically highlights some of the traumatic experiences that have happened here in Oakland and all across the world. A lot of times, I don't know if you all have heard this, but Oakland has been looked at as the most 10th violent city in the world, and it has been referenced to Iraq. And a lot of us mothers, and not just mothers, a lot of us humans have lost family members, and we're dealing with PTSD and a lot of post-traumatic syndromes and all types of things that deal with bombs going off, war, and battlefield. So we are here in Oakland, California, as natives, trying to do our very best with fighting systematic systematic oppression, genocide, and all of the other things with genetically modified foods that oppress us and keep us from operating out of our best. So believe it or not, that's what the book Oakland, Iraq is about, an entrepreneurial family trying to survive living here in Oakland. Thank you. And all of the money that goes towards the books and things of that nature goes to the sustaining of the family and goes back to the people who help assist make the books. Has that been 5 minutes? Thank you.
Beautiful work. And I just want to give
Yes.
special shouts out to youth scholars Ayer, also brother of Amir and Mama Audrey. This is a powerful book. It's also their third in a series, sorry. And all of these books is also, like Audrey was talking about, a micro business enterprise. 100% of proceeds go back to us poor people when they get sold. So go to poorpress.net, support this mama. That money will go straight into her pocket, and she do need that cash. Because guess what? One of the other shames that continue to surround poverty is us poor people actually needing money. What? Jeff Bezos is hoarding money every goddamn day, and nobody talk about that. Okay, so I'm gonna pull out one of the other warriors, a beautiful sister, talk about somebody who struggles on this occupied, stolen land behind these false border terrorists in Americlan, a warrior, a mama, a poverty scholar for life, and my Mama Dee's other daughter, Ingrid De Leon. Are you there, sister? I don't know. Is Ingrid there? Woohoo! Okay, so we're bring up the page of her book, right? Do you guys have that, Maya?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, we're gonna bring it up, and then Ingrid's gonna read in Spanish, and then Montiago's gonna read in English. Momentito, Ingrid.
Okay.
This is her beautiful book, family. Please get it.
Puede empezar cuando esté lista, Ingrid.
Mi nombre, ¿verdad?
Please introduce it.
Ok. Mi nombre es Ingrid de León.
Again, my name is Ingrid De Leon.
Soy guatemalteca.
I'm from Guatemala.
Madre de 4 niños, hijos.
I am the mother of 4 children.
Abuela de 2 nietos.
And then the grandma of 2 grandkids.
Y he sobrevivido a la violencia y a la pobreza.
And also domestic violence.
Y estoy en la lucha contra eso y contra la pobreza.
And again, we are here struggling against domestic violence and against poverty.
Gracias.
Thank you.
So we're gonna read from the book. ¿Usted leer?
Sí.
Yeah.
Voy a leer todo el párrafo. Todo lo voy a leer.
Okay, y luego yo lo leo en inglés.
Sí, por favor. Las palabras tienen tanto poder para construir o destruir, y más cuando esas palabras salen de la boca de uno de tus padres. A mis 45 años de edad entendí que yo no puedo más con algo que mi padre, que en paz descanse, hizo, o más bien dijo. Cuando yo era una niña, aproximadamente cuando yo tenía 9 años, en un lugar lejos de la ciudad, donde solo el canto de las aves alegraban el lugar, el silbido de las montañas sonaban como violines allí. Yo nací y crecí en un hogar donde éramos 8 hermanos y mis padres. Yo era una niña muy alegre y amada. Yo pensé que por mi padre más, pues él me llamaba la niña chula. Mi sequedad, mi niña chula. Yo era la niña más alegre. A la edad de 7 años conocí a Dios. Aunque no lo he visto, lo siento en mí. También me di cuenta que yo usaba zapatos de cuero o de piel, como se dice. Y mis hermanos usaban zapato plástico y botas de hule.
Okay. Muchas gracias, Ingrid. Can we scroll down so I can read the English part? Okay, so yo lo voy a leer en inglés. Word has so much power to build or destroy, and more when those words come from the mouth of your parents. At 45 years of age, I understood that I can't take it anymore with something that my father, may he rest in peace, did, or rather said, when I was a girl. And when I was about 9 years old in a faraway place in the city, where the only song of the birds brightened the place and the whistle from the mountains sounded like violins. I was born and grew up in a home where we were 8 siblings and my parents. I was a child, a very happy child in love. I thought the most of my father, since he would call me my dearness, my cute girl. I was the happiest girl, and at the age of 7, I knew God. Although I had not seen him, I felt an enemy. I also realized that I wore leather shoes or skin, as they said, and my brothers wore plastic shoes and rubber boots.
Gracias.
Gracias.
Bien, Ingrid.
I urge everybody again. Ingrid is a warrior, works janitor jobs at night. All of the ways that us poor people are oppressed by this exploitive capitalist labor. Trying to support her family on the other side of the false borders as well. Any sales, all proceeds go directly to her. And it's a beautiful book in both English and Spanish. Oh, Mateo. Thank you, Ingrid.
Bien, Ingrid.
Gracias.
All right. We're gonna bring in our next warrior, our next truth warrior. A lot of people, well, actually hardly any people. Some people talk about disability justice, but not enough people. Calling out my brother Leroy Moore, co-founder of Hopefulness, a poet, who introduced us to the amazing, the one and only Mr. Val Vera, the warrior of crip lyrics, the unapologetic poetry of disability. Take it away, Val.
Thank you, Tiny. Good afternoon, everyone. It's really an honor to share this virtual space with Dr. Nzinga and all these amazing truth tellers. Like Tiny said, disabled, houseless, poor, Black and brown, indigenous writers are often silenced in the publishing industry. Firstly, I'd like to thank Poor for giving this crip and brown voice a platform. I'm a disability justice activist, organizer, and writer here in North Central Texas. And Crip Lyrics is an illustrated poetry collection that amplifies disability culture, identity, and justice. And with the book, there are illustrations for each piece. And I had the pleasure of working with Melissa Marie Eckhart, who is a disabled artist in San Diego. And the piece I'm going to read to you today is entitled Creation. Look what you've done, what you've created. Quiet poster child, turned crip, unapologetic and jaded. Shunned by able news, shaped by privileged views. Who he's supposed to be, where is she supposed to be, what they're supposed to be. A drain on society, a grain of silent compliancy. The irony, loud and rebellious, proud and overzealous. Expectations of us wilt like soggy lettuce. Did you forget us? Stigmatized, infantilized, menace to able society. Are you surprised? Pounding this chest, King Kong, flexing his best, Crip Kong. Chained to stereotypes, we carry that cross, elegantly, flamboyantly. Our culture is boss. advocating, celebrating, graduating, legislating, aggravating the status quo, educating, we reap what you sow, motivating, we rise above the low, our imagination wild, our ingenuity and style, venomous, ravenous, sensuous, a subtle guile. Look what you've done. Behold, your invention, disabled and proud, ableism's creation. Thank you.
Woo! Damn. Yeah, I want to just say that all of the poems in here, like all of our work today, it was showing, but is really specifically dealing with the intersections. People talk about intersectionality. When you talk about homelessness, poverty, and disability, you're talking about intersectionality. So get a piece, get this book. It's available on poorpress.net. 100% proceeds go back to Val and my Boricua brother, Val. Hey, what's up?
Boricua.
Whee! All right, so we're gonna bring in our next truth warrior today, who is actually really beautifully bringing their first book to the print, which is quite an amazing and beautiful thing. A poverty scholar, a warrior against police terror, and actually bringing up and lifting up poverty scholarship in occupied Squaxin territory, AKA so-called Olympia. Lisa Ganser, what's my address?
Hey there, everybody. Thank you so much, Tiny. Thank you, everybody who's here, for being on this very prayerful, amazing Poor Magazine digital street. I am going to read from my book called What's My Address here in so-called Olympia, as you said, in Squaxin territory. I dedicate the book to my brother. It's a gift from my brother and friend, Marty, so you know that you are loved and that you exist. I'm so grateful that I see you on the call here, Marty. Tomorrow is his birthday, and today I'm going to read a piece called My Brother Was Born. Thank you, Tiny, for getting me out of the procrastination and writing a book. All right, so here it is. This is called My Brother Was Born. I learned the beginnings of how to be a people protector by being 3 and having a younger brother be born. We were raised together, played together for the first 10 years of our life with our mom. Bunk beds, played with cars, building out cityscapes in the dry sandlot of the apartment's front yard, a whole city. Having sword fights with the cardboard from inside the big wrapping paper rolls at Christmas, slapping each other silly with them till the cardboard swords turned into flapping, flailing cords. Jumping on beds, laughing so hard, our mom let us do it. That shit was the best. Playing kick the can, hide and seek, soccer, football after dark, with all the different neighborhood kids in all the different neighborhoods. We had so much freedom, an entire adventurous existence outside of whatever place was called home, in parks, in the woods, in the sun, in the snow, under stars. Just be within earshot and get home when and if our mother yells our names, Marty, Lisa. We liked the TV on kind of loud in the other room at night if no grown-ups were around. I would leave the door ajar so he could sleep. I kept the creeps away from him so he could stay asleep. He did not like mayonnaise or anything that resembled mayonnaise. He did not like any of the foods touching each other when they were on his plate. I had to be the bad guy to make sure shit got done. I made sure we got to school early, which he hated, for free breakfasts, which came with the free lunch program. Sometimes those were the only meals we had, so I didn't care if he got mad. We played school long before he was even in school, meaning I made him do my homework. And while that made me the short-term winner, it made my younger brother smarter than me. Reading from the dictionary at age 3, seriously. I'm not making that shit up. Ask him. We used to play a game. I'm not sure if I made it up or someone older taught it to me, called Trip, where I would have my brother going past me back and forth, trying to get by without getting tripped. Truth is, you can pretty much trip the person every time, but you cat and mouse. Let them get by so they think they're winning. Then lift their legs out from underneath them for a hard-ass fall. I really thought that shit was funny. Years later, my mom pointed out how in all the pictures of us as little kids that survived the evictions, I mean the pictures, it's a miracle we have photos at all. It's so sweet, Legs, how you always have your arm around little Marty. Look, every single picture, my mom celebrated. It wasn't every picture, and dang, she was right, it was most of them. I hadn't noticed. I'm so grateful she showed me that. On another occasion, I was yucking it up about how great it is to be an oldest child and pick on your little brother. Don't let anyone else beat him up except me. Ha ha ha, I laughed. A friend pointed out from their youngest child perspective how ignorant and not funny that is. And I shut my trap. I was like, damn. Later, I brought this up to Marty, and I could see by his expression that he wasn't ready for this conversation and that I had, in fact, caused him harm. And I felt my heart drop in my chest. I couldn't joke my way out of this. As an older sibling and a child who protected and cared, I was also mean and a bully to my brother. I wish I could take that back, but there's no takebacks. I sure am grateful that my brother Marty was born. I wouldn't have survived without him. Thanks. Tomorrow's my brother's birthday. Happy birthday, Marty.
Happy birthday, Marty!
Happy birthday.
Thank you, Lisa. Also, again, Lisa, the Poverty Scholar. Shout out also to Sister Nomi and other warriors up in Squaxin territory, bringing the real truth. And also, I see Sister Lene. Love to you, Sister Lene Reed. Will be part of the reading that we actually going to have up in so-called Olympia in February, I think 11th or 13th or 12th, excuse me. So I just want to say you can get Lisa's book also at poorpress.net. Please support Lisa the Badass. And without further ado, another warrior bringing truth to our young people. So a lot of times, you know, these institutional schools and the state and that continues to predate on poor and indigenous and Black and brown people also never tells us the truth. And one of the purposes, a lot of what we do is the education and the art. The next sister has written a series of children's books that actually tells the truth in the voice of a child about this absolute brutality known as the mission system, which anybody in a American school system, specifically California, knows that we got to do those crazy missions as part of kindergarten. And so without further ado, Angel Heart.
Oh, thank you, WordSlanger, for opening us up with your powerful poetry. And I wanted to thank Maya and all of the people that have helped us with Poor Press for making this book possible, Solidarity Family and the Bank of Community Reparations. This is the second installment of a children's book series, like Tiny was saying, and I'm going to read from it from the introduction and then a few pages and close. In this second installment of a series, Kai explains the truth about California missions and what his ancestors, the Lashana peoples, endured. Inspired by the need for children to learn the truth about this land, and with permission from Karina Gould, the traditional spokesperson for the Confederated Villages of Lashan, this book was created as a sequel to Orsay Tuhey, My Name is Kai. Orsay Tuhey, it's Kai from Huichen. In the last book, Orsay Tuhey, My Name is Kai, I taught you that Orsay Tuhey means good day. You may also remember that Huichen, or Oakland, California, is one of the territories that me and my ancestors are from. The Ohlone have lived in Huichen and the East Bay since the beginning of time. We are First Nations peoples and protectors of the earth. Today, kids in the 4th grade history class learn about First Nations of the land that we now call California. Kids learn how my people used to dress, what we used to eat, and how we used to live, not realizing that the Ohlone are still here. Then, when kids go to the 5th grade, they learn about the California gold rush and never hear or continue to learn about my ancestors anymore. Children aren't learning how my ancestors were hunted down or how California laws continue to harm my ancestors. They're not learning about bounties. Did you know that a bounty is a sum of money paid for killing or capturing a person or people? My Ohlone ancestors were killed for bounties. Ohlone children were kidnapped and sold into slavery, $300 for girls and $180 to $200 for boys. My grandma is working to save our shell mounds and to get back our stolen land. She believes in truth-telling and history and says our people have always been here. My grandma honors our ancestors, and so do I. I'm Kai, and I'm proud to be a strong Lishan Ohlone. Thank you.
And, there is the first book in the series. Both of them are available on poorpress.net. And of course, our sister Karina, who is said grandma, is with us with our beautiful prayer. But also what's even more beautiful is Kai is a student at Decolonized Academy. There you go. So working on all those levels, making sure as a multi-generational movement of poor and houseless and indigenous warriors, we recognize that we all have to work together, multi-generationally, multicultural. Their roots are connected and they're separate. And we're not trying to be no melting pot, because like Tiny says, the revolution will not be melted in a pot. So without further ado, and bringing back our culturas, all of our beautiful, distinct culturas, I have the blessing of introducing my badass, chingon, hermano, poet, warrior, artist, who doesn't pop his collar ever enough, and tío and padrino en danza, none other than Muteado Silencio, presente.
Thank you, familia, por me decir. Thank you, everyone. Ayodele again, all the elders, and yes, Maya, all the folks from the Poor Press class who helped us, literally all of our poverty scholars, to be able to get our words, our palabras, and our thoughts into these beautiful books and these beautiful resistance. Like Ayodele and Amiri would say, that how publishing industry classes is racist, and this is what we do in this book. And yes, I want to just present Chimali, which is a book, talking about indigenous art. As Andrew Hart was saying, we're a beautiful book. A lot of the times in some of these educational colleges and academia, they want to talk about indigenous people as we're no longer here. We know that's a lie. We know that Native folks, First Nation people are here, Purépechas, Aztecas, Huicholes. And again, so this is a resistance. It's called Chimali, creating art, creating ceremonial art. And before I read, I want to do what my sister Tiny taught in the writing class: show, not tell. So I'm going to be showing some of the Chimali. This is actually what we use in Danza Azteca. As some of you guys know, we are indigenous danzantes. And so this is a Chimali, something that you carry on a ceremony, different ceremonies. They are celebrating water, celebrating Tonancinco Atlicue, celebrating earth. And so the book details a little bit about what each energia, what our people believe. And again, it also shows a little bit of the progressions, how some of these Chimalis are made. And again, just happy that I was given the opportunity to show, deliver the art that we do. And again, it's also to inspire a lot of these designs, a lot of this stuff that I'm showing. It's images that were left behind by indigenous people throughout Mexico. That sometimes are even found in libraries in Austria and Europe, which were stolen when the invasion happened in Tenochtitlan, in Mexico, in Anahuac. And just again, thank you so much, Poor Press, Maya, all the folks who make this possible. Please support not only my book, but all these badass authors who are doing this with love. Bringing this to love to leave it to the future generations. And I want to close with a little bit of reading, because I wrote something in this art book. This is a little about born in Lázaro Cárdenas, Michoacán, a place of fishermen of the Purépecha people. Parents Roselia Jaramillo and Artemio Soberanis, Poverty Skola, writer, painter, danzante Chitontequiza, Mitotelistli. I never had the opportunity to study art or to take art classes. in schools here in the United States, but I know we descend from artisans, artists, poets, and great creators. With this book, I'm trying to remember what we already know, that we have in our veins, as far as about great grandmothers and great grandfathers, abuelitas y abuelitas, who left calmecas, teocalis, which were schools and teachers of art, philosophy, and theory, which the majority of the colonizers destroyed. Thank you so much. This is Muteado Silencio with Poor Magazine Prensa Pobre.
For anybody who's a teacher in this Zoom room, these are curriculum, right? These are curriculum not funded by eugenicist institutions, by, you know, so-called grant dances and philanthropists. You know, I like to mess with the words. These are curriculum, these are art, these are education, and these are medicine created by us, and for everyone. And so I'm gonna read a little bit. I released a poetry anthology. Woo! My first one ever. It was actually my son encouraged me to do this. And let's just say it's a little hard for this poverty scholar to spend time doing stuff that's theoretically for me, although everything I do is always the we. But this is I'm gonna read a couple pieces pretty short. And this is in honor of just what kind of I feel like is some of the energy of today's beautiful Zoom room, and one of my sheroes, which is Ayodele, because she always rocks my world, and I appreciate and love you for being here. This is called Developers and Realist Snakes, making bloody colonial paper while ancestors' lives are at stake. Maps drawn, treaties, promises broken and long gone, contracts and leases steal and extract like leeches. We have parking lots and condos to sell. We have business deals. Come on, take your capitalist pill. 5,700 years old? Come on, who really cares? There's money to make and more of Mama Earth to steal. Sacred shell mounds? What is that anyway? Get out of our way. We can give you a plaque or a street name. Get out of the way. Money stops for no one. Didn't you get the message? Didn't you hear? Now I hear the gritos. I hear the screams. Ohlone Lishan mamas with babies, Miwok babies, Western Abenaki babies under this violent asphalt veneer. Right here. They call in. Like George Floyd murdered by the same settler colonial police terror, like mamas and sons and daughters in Sheikh Jarrah, like mamas in West Papua, mamas in Kashmir, like mamas in the back of police cars and in tents being swept, like we weren't ever here. They came, the developers and realist snakes, the parking lot builders and the condominium sellers, the speculators said to us, mamas, you don't belong here. So we're gonna rewrite the game. The Mac store, Old Navy, that's your new name. Creating so many confusing disguises, indigenous history is washed from our collective gaze. Said, no one's here. Told and sold lies, created paper knives. They called maps and contracts and then kept on selling and retelling until everyone believed it like it was fact. But the shift is upon us, family. The lies and are being seen. The fake his stories are falling onto Ohlone Lishan rivers and streams. They calling us all. So keep lifting up the her stories of truth, of these mamas, of these babies, of all our ancestors' graves, from West Berkeley, Shell Mound to Sheikh Jarrah, from Puerto Rico to Berkeley. More lies can be told and sold from West Papua to West Oakland. Mama Earth must be unsettled and owned, sold every fucking day. And this is dedicated to the ancestors of the West Berkeley Shell Mound, all the warriors, Sister Karina and Fui and Deja, and so many more who show up, refuse to give up, and can't stop, won't stop, because guess what? We're not giving up. Thank you, family. We're gonna close with that, and we wanted to ask if Ayodele wanted to close us out with one more piece before we say goodbye.
I'd be happy to read something else.
Yes.
Awesome.
While I find something appropriate, well, actually, I got you. I want to acknowledge what a huge thing just happened. When you are not reflected, when your story is not told, one can question whether or not you even exist. We all know that to have our story told by a colonizer, from someone who wants to legitimize our oppression, is not to be reflected as we are. So the power in telling your own story, in creating counter narratives, in creating a place where tomorrow can find the truth is an extraordinary thing. I congratulate each and every author, and I give a special shout out to Poor Press. 8 books in 1 year officially makes you a small press, and we can't have enough of such places of power. So y'all did that. Yeah, I am so honored to be here. This piece is called "You Will Not Kill Me Today." Okay.
Yes.
Hashtag "You Will Not Kill Me Today." Now, death will come on the day it wants, dressed as it pleases, at the time it chooses. Death will come, of that there is little doubt. How it will be received is the matter here. Hashtag "You will not kill me today." With ignorance or hate, steep, brewed, and held close, you will not kill me, because melanin keeps writing things you thought you had erased. You will not kill my longing to be free or my demands for equity. Hashtag "You will not kill me today." There are traps by my front door, armed guards at the back of my mind, lest you try to slip in with me unaware. Today is not your day. If old age comes soft to drape me in forever, I will graciously away. But today is not that day. Miles to travel, more forward to draw from the mud, more errands for my ancestors, more clever cartography, more dancing tomorrow from fractured yesterdays and hard-lived todays. I have grown tough skin over my hope. I water it with pragmatism. I am vigilant and will not be set upon unaware. I anticipate you in my dreams. I've drawn a circle in salt around your intentions and wrapped a prayer in white cloth, delivered it to a tree that knows your name. I've talked to the dust and the wind about you, and they whisper my name before yours as life naturally precedes death. Hashtag "You will not kill me today." I am the promise risen from the ocean. I'm what grows outside the fences you build. I'm the rising wine at the back of your worried and fretful mind. And yes, the other shoe will drop. Bells are for tolling as each dog has a sunrise, suns set on all houses. It's not your day today. Today I walk upright, unafraid, cakewalking on oppression, drumming for justice, walking against the wind, up every hill since the good ship Jesus in Plymouth Rock. I am the sword and the stone, carrying darkness like a banner, inviting storm. I am chaos and creation. I am. My machetes are sharp. My powder is dry. I have left yucca for the left-handed child. I got iron in my right pocket and honey in my hand. Hashtag you will not kill me today. I banished you from the land of my dreams. I want not, I suffer not. I am the living circle unbroken. I am. Hashtag you will not kill me today. That's it.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
I think we have all the medicine that we need to go out and decolonize and degentrify all this stolen land. How about that? I want to give a shout out to my brother Dee Allen, who's an amazing poet. His work is also on poorpress.net. He's also part of Hopefulness, one of the first residents. Just had his anniversary, 7 years, and we need to get him a cake or something. Also, Auntie Frances, who's hoopty, overheated. So that's the only reason she had to step out early, but she has Making of Auntie 1 and 2. And our beautiful Uncle Bruce Allison, Poverty Scholar, Disability Survivor Scholar, a mass driver. Check out his work. Again, all the proceeds go back to each of the artists. All these books are also available for free to any Poverty Scholars. That's how we roll. This is called a holistic sliding scale. So we don't operate only on the bloodstand dollar economy. We operate on radical redistribution at all times. This is the trilogy, right? How to Not Call Poli Sever, the Hopefulness Handbook, and then the COVID-19 beautiful book. And last but not least, we have children's books, When Mama and Me Lived Outside. Poorpress.net, family. We so appreciate you. We will be back at San Francisco Public Library doing another Tearing It Up on February 10th, and then in occupied Squaxin territory on the 12th. And we will talk to you very soon. Please support these artists if you can. $1 or $2, poorpress.net. And we love you, Ayodele. I'm going to ask just if people can close their eyes and close us out in a moment of silence. Thank you, Creator, for another day of life. Thank you, ancestors of this land. Thank you to the sisters and brothers who are still here 528 years later. Thank you to every poverty scholar who is not in this room, who has died because of the colonial craft of poverty and homelessness. Thank you to all you warriors who never give up, because we are all we have. Ashe, aho, umateo. See you guys soon. We love you. Poorpress.net. Thank you. Thank you, Maya. Thank you, Caitlin. We couldn't have done it without you. So much love for Maya and Caitlin.
Thank you.
All right. Bye, guys. See you very soon on these digital or physical streets. Oh, Mateo. Thank you, Ayodele.